Darkness falls across the land, the midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. And yes, Halloween season is upon us, and Xfinity editors have compiled everything you need to celebrate spooky season across X1, Flex, and Stream. Just say Halloween into your voice remote to access our terrifying Halloween destination, featuring the best in scary movies, TV series, music, and games, as well as some mild scares for kids and family. You'll also find curations of free movies, free series, channels, and apps. But the part of this collection I'm most excited about is the history of hauntings, which takes a look back at 8 decades of terrifying entertainment, from the classic Universal monsters of the 30s, like Dracula and Frankenstein, to the paranormal thrillers of the 70s, like Exorcist and the Amityville Horror, to the shock and awe era of the 2000s, which brought us Saw, True Blood, and American Psycho, among many others. And our music editor, Quam, who you've met here on What to Watch Live, has even curated 5 creepy playlists to complement your favorite era of horror. And it's also the perfect time to celebrate a history of horror, because several networks and studios are reviving beloved franchises and characters for all new, blood-curdling adventures. We've got the Day of the Dead series premiering October 15th on Sci-Fi, Halloween Kills premiering October 15th on Peacock, the Chucky series premiering October 12th on Sci-Fi, the I Know What You Did Last Summer series premiering on Prime Video on October 15th, and American Horror Story is currently airing its 10th season on FX. And is that not enough scares to fill your October? Well, there is plenty more where that came from, and Kayla is going to tell you more about it.
All right, guys. So, unless you've been living under a rock, you know I am not a fan of horror, but I didn't let that stop me from creating a very special collection for you guys. I dove in and into all the scary things, and that's how much I love you guys. I just want you guys to have fun with it. So, what you're seeing now is my Black Experience Thrills and Chills collection with special curated rows for horror. So, the new Candyman is in there, Antebellum, Us, Get Out, none of which I've seen. Thrillers, to get that adrenaline pumping. I do like to, suspense and all that. That's my lane. There's a laugh to keep from screaming row with classics you all know and love, like Scary Movie, a Medea Halloween, etc. One of my personal favorites, which is my Dangerously in Love row, for all of those love gone wrong scenarios, killer lovers, deadly obsession. Love it. I love the drama. And of course, we also have a spooky TV row with Lovecraft Country, Ghost Brothers, Fear of the Walking Dead, and a lot more. As for me, I'll be watching Twitches and Hocus Pocus, which is more my speed. So if you want to check this out, just say Black Experience Halloween into your X1 voice remote. And I'm going to pass it along to Scott in his lovely queer horror collection.
Xfinity is here at Queer and bringing the fear for you this Halloween. So if you're interested in LGBTQ horror, this is your one-stop destination for all the most amazing queer horror things. We've got editors' picks here. We've got Romance is Dead. So think first date movies like Teeth, where a girl has teeth down there. That's a whole thing. Terrifying, but that's a moment. We've got horror films only LGBTQs understand. So films like Nightmare on Elm Street 2, if you're familiar with that little gem, and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, which is an absolute classic. If you're more interested in searching for horror films based on how people are killed, we've got Death by Vampires, slashers, undead, and the supernatural. We also have character tropes, which is kind of unique to the LGBTQ space, because everything sort of flipped on its own head. So we've got the final girl with a U rather than an I, and that features Jesse from Nightmare on Elm Street 2. We have the jock, like Nick Jonas as Boone in Scream Queens, the cheerleader, the killer, the loner, all of those are there and within the destination. We also have specialized subgenres, so homoerotic horror, cult classics like Vamp featuring Grace Jones as a stripper vampire, which is super amazing. We have Psycho Biddies, which is like one of my personal favorites, so crazy grandmas. So basically anything with Joan Crawford. We have body terror movies featuring movies like Seed of Chucky. We have backstabbing boyfriends, crazy ex-girlfriends, teen terror, campy horror. It's all there. And then, of course, we have small screen screams like American Horror Story, Slasher, and the classic Dante's Cove. One of my favorites is the Gay Icons of Horror, which features the 2017 Pride Parade mascot, the Babadook. We have Elvira, who's like a fan favorite, and of course, Dr. Frankenfurter. So if you're interested in checking out this ultimate queer horror destination, just say queer horror into your voice remote. Sorry, rewind. Just say queer horror into your voice remote. Sorry, that's a lot to say. To check this one out. And I'm going to throw to Landon to talk a little bit about Zumo.
Well, thanks for throwing it, Scott. Quite a catch over here. So here with Halloween, I truly do fear this holiday. It's not a great holiday for me, but I'm here to let you know that it's a great holiday for Zumo. And Zumo's rolling out 6 24/7 streaming channels, and they have Halloween right at the forefront. So let's dive in. And honestly, you guys brought such beautiful rhymes that I felt as though I should say, Zumo, you know? That was a little painful. I'm sorry. But hey, so have you ever wondered what would happen if ghosts and goblins took over? Well, slide on over to the edge of your seat and check out Zumo's Halloween Horrors channel. And if that doesn't tickle your fancy, maybe titles like Spirit in the Woods or Death by VHS, Needlestick, or maybe even Bust Party to Hell will. Find all these titles and more on the channel Gravitas Movies. But now let me tell you, this is where I'll be spending my Saturdays, the Paranormal Files channel, because I'm 100% a believer in UFOs, aliens, and most importantly, Bigfoot. And no, Bigfoot probably won't be featured here, but I did see a door to open my love for the Bigfoot universe, and I decided to blow right through it. And moving along, we've got a channel called The Asylum. So do you wake up feeling dangerous? Because maybe The Asylum movie channel is the spot for you. And now I can promise you that I won't tune into this channel, but I will let you know there is a killer movie channel for all you lovers out there like that. And for the sake of me getting some sleep tonight, I'm just going to let your mind wander on what's there. And finally, Film Rise Horror, which will take you into the world of the supernatural classics starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Christopher Walken, maybe Liam Hemsworth, and more. So yeah, check out Zumo. Just say Zumo into your remote and get to watching.
That is quite, I mean, if you can't find anything scary or seasonal or whatever to watch, you're just not looking hard enough.
Guys, I just want Halloween to be over.
I'm just going to let it sit.
I just want Halloween to be over. It terrifies me.
I feel you, Landon. I feel you.
Thanks, Kayla. It's nice to not be alone here on this one.
I'm with you. You're not alone.
I was chatting with my mom the other night, and she had a very similar sentiment. She was like, she accidentally turned on the television, and she couldn't figure out how to turn it off, and because there was something wrong with the remote, and she just got stuck on a horror channel, and she hates horror movies, and she's just like, I'm so ready for Halloween to be over. It's like, it's always something horror on the television, and I'm just like...
I'd get an Airbnb that night if I couldn't turn that channel off, and it wouldn't be at the screen. That's for sure.
Well, for those of you who aren't terrified, just say Halloween into your voice remote, and you'll be able to find all the collections you just heard about, plus many, many more.